Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for watching our How to Play Paranormal Investigation video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what the cards are, what they do, and then how to play, in two parts. So, first of all, let's talk about the cards. As you can see here, there are several types of cards. These are the mystery cards. As you can see, they've got the mysterious door, and then of course the win conditions right here on the back. These are our evidence cards. There are several different types of evidence in the evidence cards. I'll show you my hand. There are discredited cards, poltergeists, plus ones, and then the numeric 2 through 7 numbered evidence cards. Now I just totally showed everyone what I've got in my hand, but that's okay. We've actually already dealt out our starting hands of 7. So, first of all, let's start with the cards. Here are the investigator types. As you can see, there are 4 in the base kit: the fraud, the medium, the believer, and the skeptic. Let's look at the how the card is laid out. Across the top here is the investigator type. Right down below that, you see the peak conditions. So basically, these cards, the mystery cards, are face down like this on the table, and then it'll tell you with the little eye icon which 2 you look at. Now, I just flipped them straight over. That is actually revealing. That's not peeking. Peeking is more like, So, down below the peak conditions, you can also see special rules for the card. So, for the skeptic, he can play evidence cards that are equal to the highest value card in the stack, which is very useful. And of course, to win, you must reveal both logical explanations, which are these. We're going to shuffle those up again. Don't get too comfortable there. And of course, there are there are 4 different ones, and we're going to just randomly deal those out. The next thing, these are the affiliation cards. As you can see, we have the enthusiast, the military, the church, the professional, the local, and the victim. We'll use the victim as an example here. Across the top, there is a bold number that indicates your turn order. It's not necessarily 1, then 2, then 3. It just indicates who starts first. So it's going to be the lowest number. In this case, if the victim's in play, the victim's always number 1. So down below that, you have the special rules for the affiliation. In this case, the victim can peek at an additional card. Very powerful. That gives them the most knowledge of pretty much anyone. And of course, it gives you the name of the affiliation. All super thematic. Now, cute thing about this, let me show you, dear viewers. If you lay these down like this, it actually looks like a wallet being opened up. So here's the front with the wallet being opened up, and here's what that looks like on the back. It looks like a badge. So pretty cool, kind of thematic, nifty. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and randomly deal out some cards here. Bum, bum, bum. And we're going to randomly deal out these. Bum, bum, bum. Now, I've also randomly dealt out a hand of 7 cards for each of us. We're also going to shuffle and mix these up because I totally revealed everything. Here we go. This is our starting game. So, what everyone does is you flip over the card like this and put your things together, and you announce to everyone what you are. So, for instance, I am the medium enthusiast. And of course, I announce my win conditions. So because I'm the medium, I'm going to be picking 2 players to tell me which card I can look at. And in order to win, I need to reveal the message card. I only need 1, but it's tougher than it sounds because everyone goes after you. And I'm also the enthusiast. So whenever I draw a card, I can draw from the discard pile a +1 or numbered evidence card. And we have the believer from the church. The believer obviously looks at these 2 cards. They take a peek at those 2. And they are kind of special in that they only need to get to 18 in order to win. And of course, they need to reveal 2 phenomena in order to win. And of course, because they're part of the church, anytime that someone uses a poltergeist card, they can peek at the mystery card, which is awesome. So that's going to give her, depending on how many poltergeists are used, a good visibility into what's what in the game. You also have the skeptic local. The skeptic views these two outer cards, and they can play evidence on that's equal to the highest number in the stack. So that's pretty cool. Because they're the local, they can play an extra 2 or 3 card before their turn begins. So now that we've discussed that a little bit, I want to walk you through exactly what each of these cards does. So here is my hand of cards. As you can see, I have a +1 card, I have discredited cards, I have a poltergeist card, and then I have the numbered evidence cards. Here's how this works. The core of the game is really going to be revealing one of these cards or multiple of these cards to the other players and myself by getting an amount of evidence on it that equals 20 or more. At least 20 for me. The believer only needs 18, but we all need 20 or more. Now you'll notice you've got to lay these down, not necessarily sequentially, but in ascending order. So I need to, if I start off with a 2, I've got to play something higher than a 2. I can't play another 2. I can play a 3, but now that I've played a 3, I can never play a 2. Unless, of course, you're the fraud or have a special rule from another card. So this play is completely legal. 2, 3, 5. That gives me, that puts me up at 10. So I'm halfway there, hypothetically. Not that they'd let me do that. The other card, by the way, it's important to know you are looking at, these are prototype cards, and so the ones you actually get will be more vibrant, they'll be darker, higher quality. These are hand printed and from Arts Cow, so just a prototype. So you'll notice the spectrum here. From 2 all the way up to 7 indicates a spectrum of technology, high-tech to low-tech, or low-tech to high-tech, I beg your pardon. So you start off here and you're just getting some personal testimony. You're consulting the psychic here at the 3. Then all of a sudden you've got the, the still camera here. When you get up to a 7, you've got the Tesla machine with sparks flying out and lightning and people dying. It's wonderful. Now, then you've got a +1 card. +1 cards can be played at any time in any order. So I can play a 2, a +1, then a 3, then a 5, or I can, any order like this. This does not change the order in any way, shape, or form. It's just an extra evidence. And this really represents, no matter how much evidence you've got, sometimes you've just got to go down to the library, a la Buffy the Vampire Slayer, do a little research and figure things out. So that's how those work. The next thing is a discredited card. If someone starts getting a little too big for their britches, like let's say I'm up to 10, you can discredit the top evidence card, and then it and the discredited card go into the discard pile. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, the next card, and by the way, you must play a discredited card on your turn unless you have some specific rules that indicate you don't need to. The next card is one of the more interesting cards, and also some of the more fun because they've actually got the ghost right on them. Poltergeist. When you play a poltergeist card, it allows you to pick a direction and trade 3 cards along that direction. So what will happen here is if I pick poltergeist and I indicate this way, she will now select 3 cards out of my hand, and then she will select 3 cards out of her hand, and we all go all the way around the table. Now, if you have less cards than 3, you give all that you've got. If you've got none, you pass none. This is especially important because that is a good way to stop the fraud. So, this is how you set up the game. This is what the cards do, and we will pause here a moment and then jump right into the gameplay.